Hey guys, and welcome back on my YouTube channel. In today's video, we're gonna update the tier list, the PVE tier list for February 2022. There are a few new heroes that came out, few new nerfs, and basically, in the overall, more and more people are testing new heroes. So I decided to update the tier list, and I will this time divide it in three categories. We'll have a specific tier list for the beginners, the mid game, and the end game. The tier is already done. However, I will go hero by hero and explain you why I did put him in this specific place. Feel free to comment if you disagree. Feel free to also like the video if you agree. But most importantly, guys, please 5 seconds of your time, just scroll down, follow the channel. It will really help me and motivate me. Also, I just want to remind you that currently there are three guilds that are open with my community. So we have trolls, trolleys, and trollers. If you want to join this amazing community that I'm building right now of those amazing trolls, feel free to apply to any of the guilds if there's any remaining space. Obviously, we keep people that are active, so if you're inactive for more than 24 hours, we will have to replace you with an overviewer that requested a spot. So yeah, let's jump into the first tier list, which is the tier list for the beginners or players who just started the game. So we're gonna start, like I said, with the beginner tier list. So if you're a beginner who literally just started to play, or you have played for like few 3 days, obviously the first step is to build a nuke or a damage dealer team. The very first step obviously will be to go through the campaign, finish normal, hard, and then try to start like farming some blue glyphs, epic glyphs, 6-star your first hero, and then obviously you're gonna attack mythic campaign and try to finish the quest which will give you the first 6-star gears. Yes, the first rate will be queen. Yes, obviously you need to start by the queen, that's the easiest one, and you need to build the team for her. But before you even start doing anything, you also need to farm the glyphs. And you will not start farming glyphs with Santis, Gangelo, Blackhorn, Hakrim, whatever. Yes, there are god champions that you have to and you will build, but champions that you really must build from the very beginning is either Evra, Valeria, Zatlux, Hydracia, Sierra, Natalia, Imogen, Urion. Those are the best AoE nukers right now, and it will just help you so much to progress faster at the very early days of the game. Don't take me wrong. Other champions will go way higher afterwards in the beginning or in the mid game. But whenever you're very beginner, remember that before you start even any raid, every single champion will have to be fully glyphed. He will most probably need to be 6-star, and he will most probably need to have their skill ups upgraded. And you will not get this without having proper nukers or damage dealers. So the champions I would really recommend to build and to try to at least get at the very beginning are those ones. Now, if you are 100% free to play right now, you are not even counting on buying a battle pass, I will advise you to pick Evra or Valeria because basically they will just help you so much in farming. Yes, Metasia is the best pick for me, but if you are not going to have anyone to farm with, you will be stuck at one point. So I really recommend if you are 100% free to play, pick a DPS, and then you will eventually get Rojira, which is as good as Blackhorn or Metasia, but going from the principle that you might be also very unlucky with your pulls, at least have a solid farmer, so you will be able to reach the point where you can farm and fully glyph for 6-star all your heroes within 1 week minimum of playing the game. And once you also farm, obviously you're gonna start looting those blue stones, getting some free advanced summons, so you can always get something there. You will 100% get at least one Rodira, and you will be able to have at least one heal and a good DPS. But if you know that you're gonna spend and have some more hero that are than some free to plays, or will buy at least the battle pass on this Wednesday, which is huge because it will be a Evra, and I think I will start an account because basically what I'm gonna do is gonna pick Metasia, try to roll for Santis, and then get Evra in the battle pass. And I think it will just boost any new player so fast, and it's in such a good way that I think I'm gonna aim for maybe like 5 or 6 days free to play, no, battle pass free to play, and start farming queen within like 5, 6, 4 days. I don't know exactly, we'll see how fast. But yeah, beginning of the game, guys, this is it. Heroes that are very good and will also help you to farm the campaign, because obviously don't build every single hero on the mass build. Choose one or two depending what you have or how lucky you have, and just make it your core unit. So again, if you choose Evra in the rookie summons, just build her to 60, and then try looking into building some good heroes that will help you in the queen, such as Santis, Lightbrand, Blackhorn, Hakrim, Rogira, Metasia, whatever you have, Gangel if you're lucky, etc., etc. The heroes that are not worth it yet, I really do not recommend. Don't even like put them to level 20 whatsoever. It will just be a waste of resources at this stage of the game. So just focus on mass build and good champions and put them aside. Not worth it yet. They will help you later. And trash champions will not help you at any moment in the game in terms of PVE in the current meta. So if you got those, just be aware you will most probably never use them in PvE. So let's go now to the early middle game, when obviously we're gonna move a little bit the tier list. Okay, guys, so now we enter the beginning of the mid game, or a little bit of the mid game. So I would say, I don't know, like 10 days plus, something like that, 7, 10 days plus. So obviously once you finally have your, your 6 stars, you have your glyphs. So obviously you're gonna start by doing queen and focusing on queen. The only way for you not to go on the queen and actually go on the ash is, first of all, you're gonna buy all the gear that they're proposing to you. There are 2 packs, and then you're also gonna obtain 6 star set from the quest, and you're gonna roll insanely good on it. Just by getting the piece and rolling really bad on them or halfway will not allow you to farm ash straight away, and you will not get the gear to be able to even farm ash straight away. You will most probably have to focus and go through queen and get some pieces, start to gearing your heroes. But yeah, the main team for the raid, the first raid, will always be queen. Okay, 95% of the cases you will start with the queen. So basically, Lightbrand is an amazing hero if you are lucky again to have him to start with the queen. Blackhorn is amazing support. Hakrim, Metasia, Rodira, Gangela, Santis, Valuk. Those are the core units for you to start and farming queen. Obviously, you're gonna always use Hakrim no matter what competition, and then depending on what healer you have, so either Blackhorn, either Metasia, or either Rodira, depending what you have. But the main team will be Hakrim, Rodira, Santis, Valuk. Now, if you are lucky, obviously it will be Hakrim or Blackhorn and Santis Valuk. Or if you are godly lucky and you're actually just spending money, you maybe use Gangelo, Santis, Metasia, Hakrim. But again, remember you need 2 poisoners or at least 1 poisoner and 2 support units to, at the very beginning, have a chance of completing Queen. And obviously, guys, you're gonna not start by 12 just because you have the heroes. You're gonna start by 10 or 9. You're gonna take some pieces that you got from Mythic Campaign, but you obviously need to start somewhere. And the best way to do it is to put a +9, the best gear you currently have, and try to do 10. If you can't do 10, farm 9 or Mythic Campaign just to put to +12 the pieces you have, and then you should be able to farm 10, which will allow you to farm a level 5 star pieces of gear. And then you upgrade, you see what you get, you go to 11, etc., 12, etc., and potentially you switch Hakrim with Zatlux and you go even faster. But yeah, this is basically how most of us will progress in the game. Now, when it comes to good champions, obviously you're still gonna need to farm glyphs, trials, bounties, stuff like that. You might also trying and want to do Void Tower normal. So the heroes that will really help you is obviously Urion. It's an amazing AoE DPS. Same for Imogen. Zatlux not only to help you to farm faster, but he will also be used to farm faster your queen and increase the speed from, I don't know, 9-10 minutes to potentially 4-5 minutes. Natalia, unfortunately, you don't get her anymore when you register, but for those who still have her, she will be the core unit for your Ash, but also she will also help you to farm, do Void Tower, bounties, trials, stuff like that. Ciara is an amazing addition to a nuke team. She just helps you to finish everything off if you don't have enough of damage, and she will obviously also do nice damage, so you can either use her to farm, Void Tower, trials, etc. Same for Hydracia, Valeria, and Evra. Then Brand is an overall good support in every content. If you don't want to use like a def HP team and you start to have the gear to start nuking, but you are still lacking a little bit of survivability, you can just put Brand in this team. It will be amazing. William, same. He starts to be really interesting at the mid game. You can also start maybe using him in Ash at the later stage, but overall he can really help you. Craze Urzak, same, good AoE damage, very tanky. He can be very helpful. Ceres, she's also very good to start farming, bounties, a little bit of guild boss. Connor, obviously, it's a support that you're gonna have, and you should at least go with him till 5 star, unless obviously you went with Mitasia, then he's completely useless. But if you started with a nuker like Evra, Hydracia, Valeria, you can level up till 5 star Connor till you get a Rodira and you start exping your Rodira. Connor is only there till you get a Rodira or any other support from the good or must build list. Rogi Charles is the overall good Unix that will carry you through the content. They don't require good gear in terms of crit damage attack. All they need is either HP on Rogi and def on Charles, and they can carry you through some bosses in Mythic campaign or even in the Void Tower. Maybe not this month. Bounties, trials. Obviously, trials maybe at the very beginning to complete higher stages, like I don't know, 50, 60, or eventually 70. Maybe you will not have at the very beginning the damage to deal with those compositions. So obviously you're gonna go in with your tank team, right? So maybe you're gonna put 2 or 1 support, 1 or 2 tanks, and 1 damage dealer. Charles and Rogi are as good as support, but also as damage dealers at this very beginning of the game. And then Orak, overall good champion for some bosses. He does nice damage because his damage is based on the opponent makes it max HP. So again, the requirement in gear is not that high. Dark Orak, his amazing hero if you want to start and going into Void Tower, into bounties. He will help you overall in killing a lot of bosses. But yeah, most of the champions from the good list will not necessarily help you in raids, which is obviously a content that you really have to start focusing in once the mid game starts. Because yes, you'll farm glyphs, skill ups, etc., but then to actually get gear and become strong and deblock the whole rest of the PvE or PvP content, you need to farm. And to farm the gear, you need your core units for a specific team. So like I said, must build champions, obviously that will help you to do queen. Then good champions will help you to farm and do some other content like trials, bounties, etc. And also some of those champions, you can start building them because they will potentially also be used in the next raid content. Obviously, you will do Tulpa at the very end, regardless if you have Zetlin or not, but you will most probably go Queen, then Ash, and then only Tulpa. Ash, all you need is a Natalia, William in some cases, Sierra in some cases, etc. But I mean, we all know the Grey Wolf team, so you know very well what will be needed. But as an overall mid-game champions, those are very good and reliable. Champions that are not worth it yet, it's basically specific for Guild Boss, specific for Void Tower Heart, and for Tulpa, which are the contents that you should only focus once you have completed Queen 12, once you have completed Ash 12 and you are able to farm. then only start looking at Tulpa, and then only start looking at the Void Tower Heart. I can already tell you, if you don't farm Ash 12 and Queen 12 in a reasonable time, this month specifically, you will not go above level 20 Void Tower Heart. I can already tell you, there is literally no way. Unless you are a whale, you are 6-star ascended. I mean, guys, we are all intelligent, right? And then trash is the trash. This will never change. Those heroes will never help you. Most of those are just used for synthesis. Some of them are just really not worth it. They are not working. They need buffs. Those are literally heroes that you should not touch, and you'll regret it if you ever touch them. So yeah, let's now go into the end middle game and the very early end game, and let's see how the list evolves. So now we are basically in the end of your middle game. You're gonna start approaching the end game, which is basically the remaining content that you should only have, and it's called the end game. Will be Tulpa, the last 15 levels of bounties, trials 1170, and obviously the Void Tower Heart. Now, obviously, the most built units is an overall. Once you reach a certain stage, obviously, I don't know, it all also depends on your luck and which champions you have. Obviously, for me right now, some champions might be good, because you were so unlucky, you still use them as a mass build because you basically, I don't know, you don't have Gangelo, you don't have Santis. It really depends. But I don't know, end mid game, beginning of end game, and consider it at least minimum 30, or I don't know, above 30 of days of playing, and that's when you should be easily farming Ash 12 and Queen 12, obviously, and you should be looking into starting Tulpa, and into progressing higher than level 20, 30 hard Void Tower hard, and obviously finishing your bounties for the foodie quest, etc. So Lightbrand, it's just an amazing hero overall. Void Tower hard, Void Tower normal, Queen, Tulpa, bounties, trials. He's really good everywhere. Blackhorn, amazing support. Ash, uh, Queen, uh, maybe not this month, but Void Tower. Hakrim, same. It's Queen. Tulpa, he can also be used. Metasia is using Queen. She is amazing in the Void Tower Heart. Maybe not this month, but an overall Metasia is an amazing support, and she can basically just revive everything if you die, and you have a chance to start again or finish all the champions. Rodira, obviously, if you don't have Metasia on Blackhorn, she still will be the best support unit in the game. Gangelo is the best unit in the current game. He just bleps you to farm every single content and speed farm it, and he also deblocks the dragon and the witch for you. Same for Santis, speed farming every single raid, and she also helps you in every single raid. Natalia, she's a core unit for Ash 12. You can potentially replace her with Andre, but then you're still gonna use Ciara. So yeah, if you don't have Natalia, or you don't have at least Ciara and Andre, you won't be able to farm Ash 12 unless you go in a poison team with Santis and Gangelo, or a team relying around Santis, but you're still gonna need someone to clear the imps, because I don't think you're gonna be able to play around this strategy. Uh, then we have William. He is also being used in Ash speed farms with Natalia, Ciara, and Zetlin or Santis. Zatlux, obviously core unit to speed farm the Queen. Yeah. Then Zetlin, core unit to speed farm Tulpa and Ash. Aurak, core unit to speed farm Ash. Imogen, just an amazing hero for farming, cleaving, and speed farming glyphs, skill ups, Void Tower normal, and also very, very good this month in the Void Tower hard. Evra, same amazing farmer for glyphs, skill ups, Void Tower normal, trials. Urion, the same amazing farmer outside of the raids. Hector, core unit for Tulpa 12 and Tulpa 12 speed farms. I mean, same for Aurak. Yeah, Aurak and Hector, you can either use them in speed farm or normal farm. Valeria can also be used in speed farm or normal, and Brand can be used to farm normal Tulpa. as a normal, it's stage 12, but not fast, like 2 minutes 30. Sierra is the same. If you don't have Hector, or maybe you don't have Orak by any chance, you can replace her. Like I said, Andre is a substitute for Natalia, but if you use Andre, you need at least Sierra. Light Kane can also be used in the team to farm Ash 12 instead of Mary. Borden can also be substitute for a fire element in the Tulpa, but I think Thomas will be 100% better. But then again, it depends what you have. Most of the fire units in the must build will be mostly used for Tulpa, but Brand will be used in the overall content of the game. Wintrix, it's just a must-have if you want to speed farm everything in terms of everything else than red. I'm not talking about reds, so not Tulpa, not etc. It's farming, speed farming glyphs, speed farming skill up, speed farming Void Tower normal. This month also without Wintrix, it's really hard to do Void Tower. Yeah, she's just basically Wintrix. She's just an amazing addition to you for you to basically go faster and finish the content faster. Ciara, an amazing addition to your nuke team. She just provides more damage. Uh, Crazed Urzak and Dark Orak are just insane for the Void Towers. They help you basically to finish very difficult bosses. In general, over speaking, Dark Orak will help you to finish bosses. But you will never use him in raids. You will only mainly use him in bounties or Void Tower hard, normal. I wouldn't say trials, but he's a boss killer basically at the current stage of the game. Thomas, like I said, substitution for Hector, Orak, and he's way better than Borden. And Antuina is a guild boss killer. She's the best unit right now for the water guild boss. Obviously, also most of the unit in most build will also help you for every single guild boss. So I don't know, for example, Andre, Sierra, William, Hakrim, or Blackhorn will be amazing for the fire boss. Obviously, Antuina, Hakrim, Metasia, yeah, that's it. Will be amazing for the water boss. And then obviously all the fire units would be amazing for the earth boss. So must build units are used in the most of the content, and those are the units that you will be mostly using. Now which ones also depends on your luck and which one you pulled. It also depends how much money you spend in the game, etc. Now then we go into the good units, which are very specific, and I mostly replacement for the units above if you don't have them. Hydracia, obviously, she's a farmer. You will maybe use her if you don't have Natalia or Evra or Imogen or Valeria. She's a good, like, she's lacking damage compared to the units that are above, but she will still be good compared to any other units, and especially if you don't have enough of AoE damage nukers. Obviously, when I say nukers or AoE nuke team, it's three damage dealers that all have AoE spells with Wintrix or with Brand or basically, like a speed team, you just kill everything and you never get touched. So obviously if you have only two AoE damages but you still have Hydracia, obviously you're gonna implement her. Roji is like an overall good champion when you have like an issue with the boss when you cannot kill him or nuke him. So you basically take him and the boss will just kill himself on Roji, and he has like an amazing way to survive. Same for Charles, exactly the same scenario. If you have an issue with a boss, just because he can survive so long and still inputs an amazing damage, he'll just help you to go through some content, but you'll not specifically use him in any other places. Darknik is good for the Void Tower, for some bounties. He's like a, I don't know, like a Joker card when basically your whole team will die and he'll just do the very last hit if you don't have enough of damage. But you will not use him for sure in any raid, and you for sure will not use him in any speed farm. Evelyn is very specific. You will only use her in some specific cases, boss fights, guild boss fights. But overall, she's not a unit that will be part of like a main core team, speed teams that are there. Only for the dragon, she can be used in a speed team, obviously. Lydia, same, very situational. Like she can replace Andre or Ciara for your fire guild boss or some other fire boss, but overall same. You won't really use her. It's mainly because you just don't have anything else. Dasmond is like a free to play version of Gangelo. If you don't have Gangelo, you use Dasmond instead of him for your queen. Uh, but Dasmont will not allow you to obviously farm as easy or not even farm the Dragon 12 or the Witch 12 that you could do it. Gangelo, Hulk, I don't know his name, but it's basically if you don't have Gangelo and just to speed farm the Queen, so he's basically a champion you can use to speed farm your Queen 12 along with Zatluk, Santis, uh, and I don't know, for example, Blackhorn. So, Valuk cleans the whole waves, then you arrive on the Queen, Santis does the Queen, and basically this Dark Elite will put anti-heal all the time on the Queen so she cannot be healed or get any buff. Gajar is good only if you have Gangelo. You do not touch Gajar if you don't have Gangelo, but Gajar will basically allow you to speed farm every raid and every content when it comes to bosses or raid if you have Gangelo, and he will be the core unit to basically make everything explode and kill the boss in a very, very fast time. Scarlet, mainly guild boss, you will not use her for anything else. Asrina is the same. If you don't have any of the fire heroes above, you might use her for Tulpa, but she will not allow you to speed farm it, even if you have Zetlin. I really doubt it because her main damage is coming from Ignite, but she's also good for the guild boss eventually. Jacob, guild boss. Maybe Tulpa, but I really don't recommend it. People are doing Tulpa 12 with Jacob, but for me, I don't see how it can work 100% because he will attack so many times that he will eventually get counter and just die. And then obviously if you go by the right ad, well, it doesn't matter. You have just better. You have Thomas, Borden, Orak, etc. Mary, obviously, she's only good only for Ash 12 and only for the Grey Wolf team. The Light Pony is amazing support hero for Void Tower hard and normal or any bosses or hard teams when it comes to like boss content because she will just provoke everything and allow you to go through it. Dark Mary, Bloody Mary is a substitute for your Ash or Tulpa damage dealers. So I don't know, you can put her maybe, I don't know, her with Ciara or her with Natalia, so then they hit the Ash, or she can be also used in Tulpa, obviously. Then we have the Fire Elite. It's a substitute for Brand, so you don't have to use Connor. She will basically help you to finish the quest, not farm, but she'll help you to finish the quest of Tulpa 12 without having Brand. Then we have the new hero. I think she will be good for uh, boss content. So basically, I know it's still to be tested, but there is at the current state of the game, she wasn't tested properly yet. So she will be a must build if she stuns everyone that the ultimate touches, but she will be still good if she at least stuns one hero, because in regards to the support that she gives, which is the defense up for 3 turns and the defense down for 3 turns, I think overall she will be good. Valuk, the same. If you still don't have Gangelo, if you still don't have Santis, you can use Valuk, but once you get Santis and going into like a speed farming team, Valuk will become only good, and Valuk can only mostly be used for Queen and for a very specific team to beat Dragon 12 just to finish your quest and nothing else. Ricard can be used as a substitute for some earth damage, or if there's a very hard team that you need to beat with a defense HP team. He's also very good at doing damage and not dying, same as Light Brand or Dark Orak or Crazed Urzak. Heroes that are basically just not worth it anymore is Connor and Abbott. Once you get Rodira, you just don't touch those heroes anymore. The only scenario you're gonna use Abbott is for the fire guild boss, but Connor is just not worth it. And then again, we have the trash units that in PVE will just never get used, or at the current state of the game, they just don't give enough or they don't give as much as any other champion above. Now, obviously, when it comes to the end game, I will not make a specific like end game tier list because I'm not there either yet. Obviously, the end game in the current game is obviously Arena, but this is not a PvP tier list. And there's also Mythic, Void Tower Mythic, right? And then obviously you would say that like the speed farms teams are also end game, but overall the tier list would not change much. Just some heroes from mass build will go below, and I will only retain the most opti units for every single content in the mass build. But as an overall, I would say this is like a end game, mid, beginning, or just say end game tier list. I'm considering this as a very good tier list. Again, don't say mid or beginner. This is not right or right. I mean, again, feel free to comment. I made sure to go through beginner, mid, end game just to explain why a certain hero might be good here, but he will become not as good later, or vice versa. You might agree or disagree. It also again depends on what do you have, how lucky you were with your pulls. But as a general rule, uh, I'm also basing the champions or the skill set on their damage or on everything, right? So yes, if you have, for example, if you don't have any wood champions and you only have Erendil and you only have, I don't know, Hugh, like obviously you're gonna build them and try to build them to do some damage on the water guild boss. But as an overall, yeah, that's the tier list, guys. Again, follow, like, subscribe. See you on my Discord, and please comment. I really want to see what's your feedback on those.